How's it going? This is Wes with W Farmstead. So I'm out here in the shop today, and I got a little project I'm working on. You know, I may be wasting my time, but it's something that it needs to be done. You all know with the Kubota SSV75 that what you have to do is about every 50 hours you have to take and rotate these tires on these skid steers so that you keep even wear on each one of these tires. And from what I've read and what I've heard is the front tire tends to wear more than the back tire. So with this being a chain drive, which your chain gear is in here, what it does is it kind of throws your drive off if you have different circumference tires. So that's why they say every 50 hours what you need to do is you take and you rotate front to back tires on them. So as it goes right now, I don't have any type of blocking or anything to put under this skid steer to keep it up so that I can easily swap these tires. The other thing is I was thinking about when I'm doing maintenance and stuff and need to get into the hatches and everything underneath to clean it out and you know, to take off those plates and everything else. And I'm not exactly a small feller. So that 8 inches to get underneath there is not going to work too well for me. So what I did was I came up with a way out of 2x4s. I was trying to do this because I have a bunch of 2x4s left over from when I used to have a bunch of shelving down through here, and I took it all down, and I had the 2x4s right over there. And you can see them sitting right here. So what I'm doing is I'm using those 2x4s to create a little type of stand. And here's what I came up with. Yeah, I know it looks kind of a little bit crazy, but there is a little bit of a madness behind it. A lot of it is, if you take and you look at this, I don't think I got it long enough. Hold on here a second. What I was wanting to do is, it's about 8.5 inches is what the actual clearance on the bottom of that skid steer is. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to give something that I could put underneath that would hold that weight. So I'm creating 4 of these, but as you know, it looks kind of all convoluted and everything, but there's a reason why I did it. As you can see, it's about 13.5 inches tall right there. Okay, so what my idea is I don't always need this much height. So what I did was I created these little H's. Okay, so that what I could do then is I could actually lower the height. See, that goes to 12 inches instead of 13.5. Got another one right here, and these all stack, as you notice. Okay, so I can set them up to different heights as I need them. So if I go to right here, that's 10.5, which 10.5 is about perfect to put under that skid steer to get all the tires off the ground, so that I can take and move the you know, rotate the tires and stuff. But the reason why I added the extra is because, like I said earlier, I'm exactly not a small fella, and to try and get under there and open up those plates and everything else that's underneath that skid steer will make a big difference. So this is kind of what I came up with, was this little pattern right here, so that I could take these out, add to it, and change the height on it as I needed it. So I'm sorry for the camera angle. Tanya's not here to help me. But, so I came up with this. So what I'm going to do, what I ended up doing was, my first thoughts were, well, if you look, I wanted to have 3 2x4s all the way across so that I could do this little pattern here and pull this out. So that size of 3 2x4s, of course, 3 times 3.5 is 10.5. Okay, so what I did was I made each one of these 2x4s, as you can see right there, 10.5 inches. So what I did is I cut every one of these to 10.5 inches, which made it really easy. If you come over here with the chop saw, and let me go back over here, hold on a minute. As a dummy, I forgot to grab the tape measure. But as you can see, I've got some more cut over here, right here. So what I did is I have to the blade side, I put a stop jig right down there, and it's right at about 10.5 inches. So I made it easy so I could just place right up against it and take and cut multiples at a time. So I kind of figure what I'm going to do is the main thing that I want is I want it this height right here, which is 10.5. Okay, I'm trying to get over there. The main thing I want is I want it 10.5 so I can get it under there and change the tires. And if I need to later on, I can come in and I can make these little H brackets that can drop right in there. You know, it's no big deal. I know that these are 10.5 inches, that I cut them 10.5 inches, and I need 3 of them to do it. So, but what I need to do is I need to make this right now so it's 10.5 inches tall. So what I need to do is I need to figure the amount that I need of 2x4s for each. So if I figure it, I've got 2, and for the minute I'm going to count this as 2, so that's 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. What I did on the bottom, so remember that number 14, what I did on the bottom is I went on and put 3 across down here on the bottom here. And I think on these others, I'm not going to do that. It's really not needed. And if I wanted to take them off, you know, if I could take it off, I would. But I would have to take everything back apart up through here to get into these screws that are right here and right back there. So I decided, well, I'll just leave it on there. So we've got 14. What is it? We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. And then we have one more for the H here, which is 15. So what we need are 15 10.5 inch 2x4s for each. Okay? So what I'll do is I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go on ahead and start cutting out a bunch of these. So what I need actually left, so I need 15 of them. So each one of these lengths I get 4 out of. So 4, 4, so I need 4 2x4s for each. So I got plenty over there. So I'm going to have to cut through 4, 8, 12. 12 more of these is what I'm going to have to do to make all I need. So that's that's what I've got going on. And yeah, if you look at this, is this overkill? Well, yeah, considering that skid steer weighs 8,500 pounds, you know, I'd rather have an overkill and me getting under it than be underkill on it. So I'd rather have definitely, as you can see, sorry for the camera angle, like I said, but I'd rather have it definitely sturdy rather than not at all, because my size, I definitely won't fit in the 8 inches to get underneath a skid steer. So, alrighty, so let's go on ahead and I'm going to go on ahead and get going. And what I'll do is I'll cut a couple of these, and then we'll go through and show you what I did on setting this up quickly. And so it's actually, you know, it didn't take very long. It's kind of monotonous. I said it didn't take very long. Well, it takes a little bit of time. It's just monotonous. So, okay. So let's go on ahead and let's get started. Okay, so it took me a little while to figure something out here. So if you look down here, what I ended up doing was taking that board out of here and just use this Irwin quick grip. Makes it so easy to come in here, just slide right up to it. You know, it takes a little bit, but eventually you learn and figure out a little bit faster ways. And I'm sure there's other ways that are faster than what I'm doing, but you know what? It's working great. So, just wanted to show you that, where I had changed how I was doing it, and then we'll start assembling here shortly. Okay, so what I do is I use, when I start this, I use a square here. Of course, I grab 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's definitely square right there. I know you can pretty much see it, so I've got it on here, down on here with what I'm doing rather than on me. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be screwing into this one now and this one. I'm not going to do like I did. I know you can't see too well. I'm not going to put a third one in here like what I did on this one, okay? So what I'll do is I'll take and I'll make sure that everything's pretty much square. So I'll square everything up. A lot of this part I really make sure it's kind of by feel. So as we go up, there is a order that I take and I do, that I put the screws. So first level, I'll put it right up, left down, right up, left down, right up, left down, right up, left down. Okay? Then when I come across the top here, we'll have another group that comes across, and what I'll do is I'll do right down, left up, right down, left up. So that when these go, when I drill through, you'll see me drill through and screw, I don't hit the screws that are down below. Okay? I'm going to pull these out. Okay, so first off, so let's see what I'm using. So what I'm using are these 3" by 9 exterior screws. Okay, these are just construction screws, so they're not deck screws. They are a little bit stronger. You know, they may not be the greatest for shear strength or anything else, but they'll do fine for what we're doing here. Okay, so here's one of the screws right here. I ended up getting this, that box that you saw, I ended up getting that from Lowe's, is where I got it from. So first thing I do is I kind of make sure everything's squared up down here. Then I take and I'll put 3 across. Okay. So then with the 3 across, what I do is I kind of feel where everything is and make sure everything's kind of square, going all the way around. Okay, so I kind of make sure that everything's good. And a lot of it is just by feel. So the main thing is I just want to be sure everything's good. So, now that I've got it where I want it, so I do right up, left down. Okay, same thing here. Right up, left down. Okay. So, I'm going to take and put my first one in. So I want to be sure. I'm just checking again, make sure everything's good as far as feel. Okay. Hold it down really hard. Okay. I try not to take it down too much in. That one went down a little bit deeper than what I like. Okay. So make sure everything's good here. And then I take and put this one in right here. It can be either or, it doesn't matter. I just want to be sure everything's good. And make sure it doesn't twist on me. Okay, there we go. So there's the 2, so I'll put in the last 2 so it doesn't rack on me. Okay, so there we go. Alright, so I'm still square along here, still square along here. Okay. Only thing I didn't like, there we go. This one doesn't make a difference, so what I need to do is get everything all squared up again. Do that feel. Okay. Make sure everything feels good. Feels good along here. Along here. Alright. Right up that thing again. So, one last time, kind of check here. Then, put the pressure on. Same with this side. Okay, so everything's good. Okay. So I'll take that out, and then we'll pull this one in. Okay. So we've definitely got our base. We're squared. It looks pretty good. So the next part we do is we go over this part. So we run this way, run the opposite way. At least this is what I did. Okay. Get that feel again. Make sure everything feels good. Okay. So, because of, let me remind you, it was right up, left down. Now we do left up, right down, so that we miss the screws down below. Okay. So, let me do that feel again. Okay. So, go, right up, right down. Second on this side. Right down. Okay. So here's the first one. This one's on it. Make sure everything feels good. Okay. Make sure it feels good. And line up. Right down. Left hand. Right down. Right down. Okay. So make sure everything's good. Right down. Okay. Oh, look at that. That's weird. Happened to pick up a bad screw. Look at that. I'll be darned. That one got by quality control. Can you believe that? Okay. Let's go back around. Let's make sure everything feels good. Okay, that's on. Put it in. Feel good. Hold it down. That's one over here. Okay, so I'm right again. Everything's good. Same again. Left up, so we miss the screws down low on this side. Right down. Left up. Right down. Okay, so I want to check over all in. Make sure everything feels good. Everything feels good. Okay, hold on hard. Go. Do that. Do that. Alright, so check it on the side. There we go. Alright, do the last two. Okay, so what I ended up doing, I found the biggest 2x4. Anybody who says that they're all equal, they are not equal in size. When they say dimensional, they're close, but they're not. So I got the biggest one that we could find. And I ended up having to take, which I'll show you right here, I had to pull out the first 2 screws on each, and then I had to drill new holes and put the screws in, which you can see right here, right there, and right there. Okay, so let's see if this helps with. Okay, so yeah, so that fits good. This one fits good. And then this one, that one fits good. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on and make one of these H braces in a hurry for you. Okay. Generally what I do, as you can see, I end up putting 3 screws in each one of them. Okay. So let's go on ahead and put this in. Yeah, this one, look at this. You can kind of see that. That's pretty big. That space there. So, okay. So let's go on ahead and put that in there. And then we grab 2 and we run them across. And then across there, and it goes into the old field test again. Okay. So there we go. So what I'll do is I'll go on ahead and I'll screw or drill 3 holes for it. Pull that one out. There we go. So this one should hopefully fit into this one, and it does. See? This one comes over here and works good. All right. Okay. So we can go from then on then. And stack it up even higher if we want to. Well, so what size does that take it up to? That takes it up to 15 inches right there if I wanted to. Okay, so I've got 2 more of these to do, and that's pretty much what I did. And so I'll go on ahead and I'll start building the others out, and then I'll show you the finished product when we're done. And so this is my idea on how to do it, and to do it with basically no money. Screws that we've had here, though they did cost us money when we got them, and wood that's been reused, you know, 2x4s that have been reused. So this ought to do fine for holding that skid steer up and changing out those tires and everything. And be sure and do that. Like I said, I did a lot of research on it. So I did a lot of research on it, and they say, and it says in the owner's manual, that every 50 hours you want to swap the front and back tires, because if the circumference of the tire, if they get off, it can cause issues with the drivetrain. And so I want to definitely try and keep that even, so I'll swap the tires at the 50 hours like they say and everything else. But we'll come back here in a little while, and I'll show you everything done. Hopefully I'll get it done today. You know how that is. So if you see me in a different flannel shirt, you know I didn't get it done. So be back shortly. Okay, so as you look right here, you can see that I got, here's 2 of them with your H adjustments that we created, and they're done. I have enough here that I can make some more. Make another H-brace if I want to up here. But there's the other two right down here. So I got everything done and ready. So it's all done, and I'm not going to use it now, but coming up on the 50 hours when I have to take and rotate the tires on the skid steer here on the SSV75, I'll go on ahead and use them then and show you guys then. Probably what I'm going to do is at 50 hours on this SSV, I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to change the oil and change the hydraulic filters on it as well. You know, it's kind of iffy in the manual. It says, oh, hey, you really should change it. And then another place it says to change it at, I think, what is it, 500 hours or something like that. Well, you know, I'm not going to put on 500 hours in a year, and generally you don't want to keep oil in a vehicle for more than a year. So you should change it at least yearly. So this SSV will probably end up having multiple oil changes before it gets to that first oil change of 500 hours. But at the first 50 hours, I will go on ahead and change the oil on it. So I tend to like to try to take care of the equipment. It's cheap insurance is the way I look at it. So, alrighty. So, there we go. Last look at the SSV75. And then here is the last look at the blocks that I made that are basically self-adjusting here and all. So we'll be able to adjust them, make them as high as we need, and then there's the others. Alrighty, y'all have a good one. See you on the flip.